Hey everybody. Oh, sorry about that here. I've been chatting away and I forgot to turn on my microphone. I apologize. I'm Teresa with Keep in Touch Crafts and I'm from Oak Grove, Minnesota. I think I'm a little rusty. I haven't done a live for quite a while here, a month or maybe even more. And I had always been doing Facebook Lives up to this point. This is one of my first YouTube lives. So thank you. Welcome. I appreciate you tuning in here. We're going to be getting ready for Christmas. It's not that far away, so we have a lot of crafting to do between now and then. I'm hoping to give you some ideas of things that you can make at home. Of course, feel free to substitute anything you already have for the things I'm making today. Your own stamp set, ink colors, or whatever, if you don't already have the one that I'm featuring today. But the actual layout of the card is going to be something very adaptable to many different types of cards. You can use it for any occasion, and I'm just choosing to start off the Christmas cards with this particular layout. And this was a layout that we used recently for a meeting that we had for other demonstrators. It was a big team meeting, and Susan Campfield is the one who had told us about this layout, and so I want to thank her for that. And it was such a nice unique, fun, easier layout to do that I wanted to make sure that I could get it out to everybody else too, so you can enjoy it and hopefully make some Christmas cards or whatever kind of cards you want to make with this layout. So let's go ahead and get right to it here. I'm gonna put my camera down on the desktop and we'll get started. And this is called an angle trifold card. It's a joy fold, I guess is what it was actually loosely based off of. Okay, so here we go. Let's look down on the desktop at the card we're going to make. I have a sample done for you, and this is what the card looks like. You can see that it has a little bit of bling on there, and we do have some foil right now that's a darker it's a silver foil, but it's very dark. This card, of course, is not the traditional red or green. You can mix it up to do it any way that you want with any types of papers or images. The sentiment here is just joy, it says, and it opens to the right with this angle front, and then I have a joyful Christmas to you and yours. So that kind of ties in that front joy part right there. So we are going to be making this today, and let's gather our supplies. First of all, I'm using the image from Reflected in Nature, and this one has that beautiful like a cabin, snowy. It could be snowy, and it could be water or ice, I guess, depending on how you ink it up and how you what kind of card you have. But I thought it just kind of had a little bit of a peaceful type of a vibe going on, so it was nice for the front of a Christmas card. And I'm not using anything except the main stamp from that one, and again, that was Reflected in Nature. And then I'm using sentiments from Merriest Moments, and Merriest Moments is one that's out right now. It's photopolymer, meaning it's clear, and I have all of my dies in the case as well, but I'm just using some sentiments from it today. Really nice large set. I'll probably be doing a lot of other things using this Merriest Moments, but this is for today. I just used joy, and then a joyful Christmas to you and yours. So that is the stamp sets I'm using. I am also using the double oval punch, and that one punches out both two different ovals. You have your inside where you typically will have your stamped, the focal point of your card, which for me is the word joy. That's what I had put on this one. And then it also does the mats to go along with it. And again, I used the foil for that. So I will go ahead and let you know all the different sizes of products, or the different sizes of paper. Whew, I can do it. That you're going to need. That's going to be on a screen. I'll let you take a screenshot of that. So in one moment. And that's going to be showing you what kind of paper we need and how to cut it. So if you want to gather this paper that is on the screen here now, you're going to need Night of Navy at 4 1/4 by 11, Basic Gray, which will be 3 inches by 8 inches, scored at 4 inches. I'll be showing you all of this as well. Then the DSP is from Peaceful Place Designer Series paper pack that we have, and I cut that at 4 by 5 1/4. We have the silver foil I was telling you about. You need 2 of them that are 2 7/8 by 3 7/8, and then the basic white. Oh, and then you need a scrap of the foil. Then the basic white is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then you have to do 2 of those. And then you also need approximately 1 by 2 inch scrap of the basic white, and that is for stamping Joy onto. So let's go back down to our project here. I just want to make sure I show you everything you need. I am using, I gotta back up. This is the paper pack, but I can't get on the screen. It's I can do this. I am so rusty, you guys. Whoa. This is the Designer Series paper, Peaceful Place, and this is so beautiful. It's got a lot of silver foil in it, and there's that cabin look to it, and there's a lot of like scenery and snowflakes, trees, and it has just the black, the basic gray, and the other gray, which was, this is smoky slate and basic gray, silver foil. Okay, so that's where I'm getting that from. I'm using the snowflake pattern for this one. And then we are going to be needing your Night of Navy stamp pad. And here are the paper. This is everything. I kind of prepped it ahead of time so that I didn't have to do as much for you necessarily. I just kind of want to show you the assembly, that kind of thing. All right, so we have, as I said before, this is our piece of Night of Navy, and that one's 4 1/4 by 11. And I'm going to score that one. Just one moment. For some reason, I accidentally grabbed my old trimmer, so this isn't my normal one, but it'll do the job. I'm going to be scoring it at 5 1/2, which is just down the middle. Okay, nothing fancy there. But what you're going to do is take your card base, and you are going to open up your trimmer so that this track is, I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing, and you have plenty of light on this. You're going to open it up, and this is our card front. I am going to be cutting this at an angle from the upper left to the lower right, and we're going to trim that off. So I am lining up that centerpiece with this little channel, and then this bottom point, the bottom point here is in that little channel as well. So then I know that it's going to be cutting a nice straight cut from point to point. All right, so let's go ahead and trim that down. And there we go. This you can use for another layer or another project. And this will be our card front with that angle here, okay? The next thing we're gonna do is pull in our Designer Series paper. So I'm just gonna be using one like this just to demonstrate. We have so many pretty sides that would work in this paper. You can choose whatever you like the best, but the size is 4 inches. Okay, 4. Give that a cut, and by 5 1/4. Okay, and we'll cut that down to 5 1/4. And we're going to take this will be our card front that goes on that angled layer. So once again, we're going to cut it from corner to corner. We'll line that up in the track like we did our blue card base, Night of Navy, I should say. And let's go ahead and cut the DSP. I started in the middle and go out, because if you push your blade against a point, sometimes it'll buckle it. So I like to start in the middle and then go out and then go down. And this one can be used on another project. We're just going to use one of the two halves. Okay, and this will be layering right on our card front. So that's done. Next we need a piece that is, it's in the gray. That's kind of what I had already prepped ahead of time. And that is the 3 inches by 8 inches scored down the center at 4. So then you fold that over, give it a good crease with your bone folder, but you're going to be having this open to the right, which is the opposite that we normally do. So keep that in mind when you're putting everything, all the layers together. It's easy to accidentally switch it around and do this, but it's going to go in this direction instead, okay? This will be the front of that panel that shows in the very front and center of our card, and then then the sentiment will go inside here, okay? So this piece is about ready as far as getting it cut and scored. All right, and then the next thing that we are going to look at is our other pieces here. So it looks like I got a little ink on my foil, but that's not going to show. These are the two pieces, the two foil layers. All you're really doing is using the edge. And since I'm kind of a miser when it comes to paper, I want to always, save as much as I can, or at least some. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take our oval punch and I am going to cut out both of these ovals, punch them out, and just save them. One of them will be used on the card front. This other one, you could actually stamp Joy on the back and then you wouldn't need that other little scrap, but I hate to not use the foil. And I'm doing that for both of these because this is going to be covered up. No sense in wasting those pieces. You can save them for other projects. All right, so we have this piece and this layer is going to have one of our white pieces over top of it. So in the inside of this little card, it's going to be like so. In the inside, we're going to want our sentiment here, and that one was the other joyful one that I had told you about, which was a joyful Christmas to you and yours. And where is that guy in here? Here's Joy. Okay, and you can tell I've used this a lot, so much that it's all stained, but it still works perfectly. And we'll grab our block here, and we're gonna have one for a joyful Christmas to you and yours. That gets stamped on one of our white layers, and then just this little Joy piece or stamp can go on there like so, and that goes on. Can you see that? Woo, kind of. Okay, so we'll be stamping these, and I'm going to get this Night of Navy stamp pad opened up. I love the colors of blue and silver together, and then the gray as well. I feel like it kind of all coordinates together really well. And let's go ahead and do our inside piece. I usually want to stamp on a mat of some kind if I am using photopolymer. So I'm just getting a piece of foam that I have. It helps you get a clearer image. If you're not using a red rubber stamp and it's a photopolymer one, you might want to stamp on a piece of foam to help that image be extra clear. Okay, and we'll try to get it straight on the first go around here. All right, beautiful. A joyful Christmas to you and yours. As I was showing you before, I'll clean that in a bit. And then Joy goes on a little scrap of white that can get punched out. And let's grab that piece then. I save lots of little white scraps all the time for this type of a use. You just never know. There's so many sentiments that you can put on a piece of, you know, of white that goes for so many different so many different uses. So I guess I didn't have a little one ready, but I do have them. Okay, there we are. And I'm going to get that punch back in here, and I'm going to punch it out. And you can see what you can see right through it, and which is really nice. You can get it centered. That's why I like to stamp first and punch second. And let's find a little scissors, and we'll cut that out a little bit. Just so it can reach it properly down in there. Ooh, oh boy, right on my ink pad. Huh. All right, let's punch that word out. Again, I had it a little bit too big so that it couldn't get down in that center where I wanted it. And then you just get it, you can watch and move and get it exactly where you want it and punch it out. And there you are. This is going to get layered onto one of those foil ovals that has the edging on it, the little bit larger one from the punch. So I usually prefer to use something on foil that's not the liquid glue. I mean, it does work pretty well, but I just don't trust it as much. It just doesn't stick quite as well on the foil, so I like to make sure and use our seal, Stamp and Seal, or Seal Plus, whichever you have. All right, there we are. That one is done. This one is done. You could add a little more embellishment. You could put a little bit of the Designer Series paper on there just to kind of dress it up. You could cut a little strip. So you can just do whatever you want with that to get it a little bit more fancy. And I'm going to set that aside. This is the piece we're working on. And am I too far away now? I don't know, guys. All right, so here is the front of the insert piece, and our stamped image goes right on here. And we also do have our other foil layer first. I did go ahead and stamp this ahead of time. I wouldn't have needed to do that. But I just wanted to have that part done. Kind of second guessing it, thinking maybe you'd rather see me stamp it, but it's very easy to stamp that layer. Let's just show you. Okay, it's not a difficult stamp to use. Now this is, I believe it's one of our, what do we call that, where it's distinctive? I'm not sure, it doesn't say that on there though, but it's a nice big stamp. It is the red rubber, and you can see how that looks on there. One of them's just a little bit lighter, so that's the reflection, and the darker one is the actual cabin or whatever. And so I will get a larger piece to a larger block. So we'll put it on a little bit bigger block here. If you have a large one like this, a lot of people like to put your actual paper on here, and some people don't. So let's just try it and see what happens. We'll try a couple of them just to see which one we like better. So here we are with our Night of Navy again. Let's ink that up. Okay, you don't want to get it too inked up because then it can fill in and be a little muddy. Ooh, I'm going to be cutting it out of here so it doesn't have to be like perfectly straight or centered or anything. Just want to make sure it's got good pressure. Okay. All right, that's that way of doing it. And I suppose I should really clean this off so that it's not affected, like the image won't be affected. The other one that I just showed you, it hadn't been inked yet, And so if we're really going to be comparing, we got to keep it the same. So I'm getting that ink off of there. And now I'm going to bring in a piece and we'll do it where we take the project to the stamp. You can get this inked up a little bit. Try to kind of have it about what we did on the other one, if possible. And let's find that cardstock. Okay, so now I'm going to bring the cardstock on top of the actual stamp like that, and then I just give it a little bit of a press to all edges. I don't want to push too hard, but yet if you miss something, you can also, gosh, where is it? Some people have like an eraser or something that'll slide around on there, but I'm just going to do this and see what it looks like. Okay. I definitely think I like it better just stamped the regular way, because I am seeing a little bit of a halo type effect here where the ink picked up on the edge of the red rubber, and of course we don't want that on there, although it would probably be cut off. But this one didn't have that, and I feel like side by side I'd say this one looks a little better anyways, but you know, you might prefer to do it this other way, whichever works for you. I am going to show you, you can get it to extend a little bit further. See how this is longer than our image? You can ink it up and kind of stamp on the edge to make it continued a little bit further. Now, I haven't really found that to be overly, I haven't gotten it down perfectly yet, but it's something you can work on. It does just kind of take a little practice, and you kind of can blend it in so nobody would know. We'll see if I did it right here. There's a little bit of an overlap line and it's a little different, and I'm going to show you what I did to kind of make it so that didn't show as much. Oops, there's that, but it's too big. I'd be cutting it down for the card front because we don't necessarily want the neighbors showing there. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my my blending brush, and I am also using this, the Night of Navy again. I'm just going to lightly go around the edges, and that's going to kind of obscure or make so that this isn't such a harsh line. So I'm just kind of getting it a little darker around the outside. I am way too low here. Sorry guys. And then when you're using this, it's nice to kind of start off to the side a little bit and then go onto your project so you don't get a big blob. And again, a lot of this isn't really even going to show because we're going to be trimming it down to fit the front of our project. So that's kind of our focal point. What I really like to do is just make sure that the cabin is kind of the highlight or the lightest part, and then the rest just kind of blends together. So then we will cut this down to the size that we need for our card front, and that was listed in the beginning. And I'm going to put this aside, just use this one that I already made. Okay, so that layer, it was a 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 inch piece of white that you're stamping on. Trim it down, and then we're going to put that on our silver foil layer. Now this layered the foil in this package comes with different colors. This happens to be the darkest one, and it has different colors of silver in it, so it's kind of nice. It's very versatile that way. And let's just put a little bit of the snail on here. I keep calling it snail, it's seal. It used to be snail. Whoa. See how rusty I am, guys. My goodness. Okay, I'm going to put this on that beautiful silver paper. Give that a little bit of a push on the back. And now you can see how I had cut out those ovals. Nobody would ever know that they're missing and that we're conserving, right? I could have done a little more. And so that'll be the front. We can put that on our front as well. This time I'm going to use dimensionals just to kind of pop it up a little bit. You don't have to do that though. If you want to keep it flatter just for mailing and that kind of thing, it's fine to skip the dimensionals if you'd like. But I like putting dimensionals on whenever I can. It kind of adds a lot, I think. Okay. And we will center this on top of our little insert card base. Sometimes easier said than done when you're like standing up and you don't put your head over it. It's not as easy to see where you're at. So hopefully we're good there. Again, remembering it opens to the right. On the inside, we were going to add this, and that goes on this second piece of foil. Okay, let's go ahead and adhere this on there. Just want to make sure I don't get it all dirty and set it into some other inky stuff here. I do that way too much. Okay, and that goes on the inside again on the left. Let's see, I want to use the seal again. I do have the PDF instructions already done up for this one, so I will be able to link you to those in when I'm done here. I'll be able to get a PDF version available. I already have it made, like I said, but we'll get you that link if you need that also to help you remember which supplies are needed. I have all of them listed on there. And so one thing I know that I missed so far was the silver little thread. Oh, here it is. Oh, I thought I had gotten it. I cut a length of that off just to make, we're going to make just a little easy bow. Pull that through and then fuss a little bit. Did I go too fast? I might have gone too fast. Let me try it again here and explain it better in case you're not comfortable with bows yet, which is very common, so it's not a biggie. What I do is kind of in the center of my length somewhere, I make one little loop on this finger and one little loop on this finger, and they're kind of like bunny ears. That's kind of how I was shown. Then I cross the left over the right, and the one that I crossed over goes down and through this little hole there. Okay, there are other ways to make them too. That's just what I've found to be the quickest and easiest. Okay, there we are, and I'll be trimming that. It obviously doesn't need to be that long. I am going to put a glue dot on it. That's a nice way to adhere ribbon and this type of bow. Just pull that off of there, and I believe we're getting there as far as almost ready to assemble it all. Let's put our designer series paper on the front. Okay. This one, it would work just fine if you use our multi-purpose liquid glue. That works fine on this. I just sometimes don't use it on foil. Kind of want to get to these points a little bit there. And let's give it a press onto our card front. And just trying to get it nice and straight. I need to get, what I need to get is new blades for my trimmer. And if you have any trouble of fraying from your trimmer, you can just use a little sanding block or a little emery board, that kind of thing, and just kind of get some of those fibers off from the trimmer not being as sharp as it should be. So I'm wearing out my blades. All right, there's our card front. Now we want to figure out where we're going to put this small little insert card. And if you put it right in the center, it should be fine as far as not restricting or not being in a bad place to open and close over the top. And you just want to double check it first. Yep, that'll be fine if I just put it right in the middle. And then you open here and there. So I know it can go in the center. I am going to use some good tough adhesive on this, and that I'm going to be using tear and tape. This is has a liner on it that's like a wax liner, and then the adhesive is on there. This is very strong. Am I doing the wrong side here? Yeah, this is the back. That's what I wanted. Whew. Very strong adhesive. It works great. If you're at all concerned about something being thicker and you're afraid that it could come undone, this is a good one for that. So I'm giving it a good press so that adhesive is transferred now down onto the project. And another, I'm going to give you a little tip, I guess. This is what I do. If you have tape along the edge, you can just start it and press it down. And can you see how it has, I think of this as a handle. So when I'm adhering this down, I'm going to put it in place. Then I can pull this handle once I have it in place, and it's not going to adhere somewhere I don't want it to adhere, like if it's a little crooked, that kind of thing. It gives you a little bit more time to get it placed and then to pull off the liner. So I do that for both of those. This one I took it completely off. And I'll kind of show you what I mean here. And this can go, yeah. So I am just eyeballing it. You could use, no, I didn't. Oh, phew. Okay, I thought I put it on wrong. Oh, there we go. I just panicked for a minute. No worries. And whenever you get it approximately where you want it, just get it nice and straight and centered. Then I can hold it into place and pull on the liner on the top and pull on the liner on the bottom. And then it stays in that same spot. Okay? Which is kind of nice because you want it to not float around and go somewhere else. The next thing we can put on here is this Joy Sentiment, and that since I already have dimensionals under this corner, I'm not going to want another dimensional. It'll get a little too thick. So I'm going to go ahead and just use our steel. Oh, I just pulled apart my bowl. Bummer. Have to do it again, I guess. And you find where you would like the word placed here. Try to get it straight. Then I have to retie my bow, and I had even had all my adhesive on there. Oh well. I'll just start again. Try to get that glue dot off of there. All right. So now, note to self, don't make your bow and put the adhesive on it too early, because then you can lose it and have to do it over. All right. That's more like it. Yay! Glue dots once more. I use the mini glue dots that they have at Stampin' Up, and here we go. Yeah, they come on a roll, and they're just these little dots of adhesive on a wax piece that releases them off. And I'll trim this down. All right, here we have it. Yay, one thing left, and that is some little adhesive gems that we have. These are our holiday, I can never remember the name, holiday something, holiday rhinestone basic jewels. They come with all kinds of pretty colors on there, and they have the nice deep blue. I don't know if you can see that in there. Maybe you can see the colors a little better now. As you can see, there's kind of a goldish, then there's the deeper red. So I don't know if these are the, like, I think it's cherry cobbler. I'm not sure which gold it is. Then there is the green here is shaded spruce, and then this is, oh, I'm not sure which lighter green this is. And then there's the night of navy. So I probably should have gotten that information. I think I have it somewhere here. Yeah, holiday basic rhinestone jewels. Oh, it doesn't have the colors listed, does it? It doesn't. It's probably in our catalog. Sorry about that. We're using the blue ones, Night of Navy, because that matches our projects. Alright, so I'm pulling in the take your pick tool so I can lift these up and off and get them on my project. You can pretty much put them anywhere you want, because it's going to look nice anywhere on there. I should be maybe using this end. Alright, so the first one I am going to put, let's put it right here. The second one I am going to put here in the corner. And the other one I'm going to put near that one, just down here. Scoot it over a little bit. Kind of makes this plain edge here just have a little bit more to it. Yay! So there we go, guys. I hope you liked this project. Again, I'm going to be having all the instructions and information for you in the description a little bit later, because I do have all that ready for you. I hope I was able to clearly get that to you, so I hope you understand kind of how it all works. If I wasn't clear, let me know. I'm happy to clarify that for you and make it so that it is something you can easily do and have you be successful at having a card like this. If you do make a card out of this fold, please let me know. I'd love to see it. You can snap a photo of it and send that to me if you're so inclined, because I would love to see it. One other thing I forgot to do is this paper was going to go on the flap of my envelope. So take your envelope and glue another piece of the designer series paper onto the envelope here, and then from the other side you just trim that down, and it's going to be a beautiful layer on the back of the envelope, because we don't like our envelopes to be plain, right? We can't do that. And then inside would be this pretty little folded card. All right, you like it? I hope so. Stay tuned soon. I'm going to be getting more Christmas projects out for you very soon, because we need to get busy. We need to help Santa out in his he has a lot of work to do, so we got to help him too. We might have Christmas cards to make as well, so we have a lot going on, but it's fun. It's all for good fun, and I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.